Hey y'all, and welcome back to Hip Hop Urban Pop. Today we're gonna be diving into a list of the R&B albums that will be turning 30 in 2024. The 90s birthed a plethora of classic R&B albums that went on not only to create life by spiking the birth rate, but also inspiring the generations to come. Let's get into it. Here It Is by Freddie Jackson. Here It Is was Freddie Jackson's sixth album released on January 18th of 1994. The album was praised for its performance value, but unfortunately did not spawn any singles that charted on the Hot 100. The album itself, however, peaked at number 66 on the Billboard 200.
Pronounced Johnny by Johnny.
Released on February 15th of 1994, Johnny quickly became the buzz on the street. The album peaked at number 37 on the Billboard 200 and produced 4 singles. The first single, Hey Mr. DJ, peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100, selling over 500,000 units in the States and 35,000 in Australia. The second single, Groove Thing, peaked at number 17, while their third single, Sending My Love, reached number 40 and Vibe hitting number 14 on the US Dance Singles Chart. The album would go to sell over 1 million copies in the States, going platinum. All for One by All for One. All for One is the eponymous debut album by the R&B group All for One. Though the group would go on to release 6 additional studio albums up to 2015, along with 2 Christmas albums and 2 live albums, this debut album remains their best-selling album to date, with over 4 million copies sold in the United States, 300,000 in Canada, and over 210,000 across Japan, Australia, Spain, New Zealand, and Switzerland. The debut single, So Much in Love, which was actually a cover originally performed by The Times, was praised as a glorious remix, which peaked at number 5 on the Hot 100, selling over 600,000 copies nationwide. However, it was their second single, I Swear, that skyrocketed the group's status. Now, I Swear was a cover single as well, originally performed by the country singer John Michael Montgomery in 1993, but All for One's featured the original lyric in the second verse, and When There's Silver in Your Hair was replaced by And When Just the Two of Us Are There. The single made its way to numerous music charts, most notably the Hot 100, where it peaked at number 1. I Swear also went number 1 in Australia, Austria, Canada, Denmark, Germany, Lithuania, Netherlands, New Zealand, Switzerland, and Zimbabwe. Seal by Seal. Seal was also known as Seal 2, since Seal named his debut album Seal. Now, it's very rare an artist gives their debut and sophomore album the same title, but maybe the debut meant Seal as in seal of approval, like an introduction, and the sophomore album Seal in a more so self-titled like This Is Me, Raw and Uncut. On the cover, he's baring his skin, giving us all types of Rihanna and Umbrella. So maybe it's more intimate and more in-depth with Seal the Man. Anyways, released May 23rd of 1994, Seal 2 managed to peak at number 15 on the Hot 100, but did peak at number 1 in the UK. 3 of the 5 singles peaked on the Hot 100, with the lead single Pray for the Dying peaking at number 21, Don't Cry peaking at number 33, and the sophomore single Kiss from a Rose peaking at number 1 on the Hot 100. The single was also featured in the film Batman Forever in 1995, and in 1996 earned Seal a Grammy for the Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. Also, a fun fact about Kiss from a Rose, it was actually written in 1987, years before even working on his debut. After writing the song, Seal felt embarrassed by it and threw it in the corner. Even when Seal began recording his debut album, he did not present it to his producer, Trevor Horn. It wasn't until the recording for his second album where he decided to sing the album song. In 2015, Seal stated, "To be honest, I was never proud of it. So I like what Trevor did with my part. He turned that tape from a corner into another 8 million records, and my name became a household name." Gems by Patti LaBelle. Gems was released on June 7th of 1994, and it is the 12th studio album by Patti LaBelle. The album peaked at number 48 on the Billboard 200 with 2 singles, All This Love, which was a cover originally performed by DeBarge in 1982, and The Right Kind of Love that peaked at number 61 on the Hot 100. Gems went on to become certified gold, selling over 500,000 copies in the States. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number by Aaliyah. This was the debut album for the then up-and-coming star Aaliyah. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number was released on May 24th of 1994. The album received general highly favorable reviews from critics all over, from the very first single, titled Back and Forth, that peaked at number 5 on the Hot 100, selling over 700,000 copies by the end of '94. Fun fact about this single, just a few months after its release, Madonna sampled back and forth for her song Inside of Me on her 6th studio album, Bedtime Stories. The second single, At Your Best, You Are Love, was a cover originally by the Isley Brothers that Aaliyah was able to get the green light for after meeting Ronald Isley and expressing how much she loved the song to him. This song became a staple R&B classic for years to come and peaked on number 6 on the Hot 100. The album, Aging Nothing But a Number, was nominated for 4 awards, including a Billboard Music Award for Best New R&B Artist, an American Music Award for Favorite Soul/R&B New Artist, and Best R&B/Soul or Rap New Artist, a Soul Train Music Award for Best R&B/Soul Album by a Female, and a Soul Train Lady of Soul Award for Best New R&B/Soul New Artist, and went on to sell over 6 million copies
but I guess
worldwide.
it just has to deal with you.
Get Up On It by Keith Sweat. Get Up On It was released on June 28th of 1994 and is the 4th album by Keith Sweat. The album peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200 with its first single, How Do You Like It, featuring Left Eye of TLC, peaking at number 48 on the Hot 100.
The next 2 singles, When I Give My Love and Get Up On It, peaked outside the top 40 at number 85 and number 62, and the album went on to sell 1 million copies.
Peep This by Jamie Foxx. Now, before Jamie Foxx was on TV screens in various films and his own TV series, The Jamie Foxx Show, he actually got his start in stand-up comedy before joining the cast of In Living Color in 1991. He would later go on to try his hand in music, releasing his debut album on July 19th of 1994 titled Peep This. Though the album received negative reviews, it didn't deter Jamie from his love for music. The album peaked at number 78 on the Billboard 200 with his debut single, Infatuation, peaking at number 92 on the Hot 100. His follow-up single, Experiment, peaking at number 88 on the Billboard Hot R&B Singles Chart. Playtime Is Over by Immature. Playtime Is Over was released on August 2nd of 1994 and is the 2nd studio album by Immature. The leading single, Never Lie, peaked at number 5 on the Hot 100, becoming certified gold, selling over 700,000 copies. The follow-up single, Constantly, peaked at number 16 on the Hot 100, although the 3rd single, I Don't Mind, failed to chart, and the album only peaked on number 88 on the Billboard 200. Over time, it managed to sell over 1 million copies in the United States, going platinum. Come by Prince. Come is the 15th studio album by Prince that was released on August 16th of 1994. Unfortunately, the album received a lack of promotion due to Prince being in a public dispute with his label Warner Bros. And the album would be his final under Warner Bros., under his name. For the remainder of his contract, Prince will be represented by the Love Symbol. The album, however, did perform moderately, peaking at number 15 on the Billboard 200, and going gold in the States, selling over 500,000 copies. Rhythm of Love by Anita Baker. Rhythm of Love is the 15th studio album by Anita Baker that peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100 and number 1 on the Billboard Top R&B/Hip-Hop chart. Even though the album managed to peak at number 3 and sold over 2 million copies nationwide, the album didn't spawn any commercially successful singles. 2 by Boyz II Men. Released on August 30th of 1994, 2 was the 2nd album by Boyz II Men, debuting at number 1, selling 350,000 in the first week. The album spawned 4 singles, with 2 of them, I'll Make Love to You and On Bended Knee, peaking at number 1. Water Runs Dry, peaking at number 2, and Thank You, peaking at number 21. I'll Make Love to You spent 14 weeks at number 1, making them the first to achieve consecutive double-digit runs at the top of the chart with their prior single, End of the Road. 2 also won Best R&B Album at the 37th Grammy Awards in 1995. The album would go on to become Diamond, selling over 12 million copies in the United States. Usher by Usher. Self-titled Usher is a debut album by Usher, released on August 30th of 1994 under LaFace Records. Unfortunately, the album underperformed, debuting at number 167 on the Billboard 200. The debut single, Can You Get With It, written by Devontae Swing and produced by Devontae Swing and Timbaland, peaked at number 59 on the Hot 100. The second single, Think of You, written by Donnell Jones, Faith Evans, and Usher, went a spot further, peaking at number 58 on the Hot 100. The album itself went on to sell over 500,000 copies in the United States. Brandy by Brandy. Released on September 27th of 1994, Brandy's debut album initially had very slow sales. After 7 months of its release in April of 1995, the album managed to peak at number 20 on the Billboard 200. The singles, however, were hits out of the gate. The debut single, I Wanna Be Down, peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100, selling over 1 million copies. The second single, Baby, peaked at number 4, also selling 1 million copies. The third single, Best Friend, peaked at number 34, while the fourth and final single, Broken Hearted, peaked at number 9 on the Hot 100. Brandy was awarded with the Soul Train Award for Best New Artist.
Have you performed before a big audience like that before?
Yeah, I performed one time before a big audience, like 15,000 people. But it's not the same because I've got to do 4 or 5 songs. So.
At least the band and everything.
Brandy's album went on to sell over 6 million.
Do when I sing, so it's like.
Songs by Luther Vandross. Songs is the 9th studio album by Luther Vandross released on September 20th of 1994. The album consisted of cover versions of previously popular love songs. 2 of these singles, Love the One You're With, originally performed by Stephen Bills, and Going in Circles, originally performed by The Friends of Distinctions, both peaked at number 95 on the Hot 100, while Always and Forever peaked at 58. It was the single Endless Love featuring Mariah Carey, originally performed by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross, that proved to be the most successful single on the album, peaking at number 2 on the Hot 100, selling over 1 million copies. The single was also nominated for Best Pop Collaboration with vocals at the 1995 Grammy Awards, but lost to Funny How Time Slips Away by Al Green and Lyle Lovett. The album Songs peaked at number 5 on the Billboard 200 and went on to sell over 2 million copies in the United States. CrazySexyCool by TLC. CrazySexyCool is a sophomore album by TLC released on November 15th of 1994. The album debuted at number 15 on the Billboard 200, selling 77.5 thousand in its first week. By July of 1995, the album actually went up a couple of spots, peaking at number 3, selling about 117,000 by that point. The first single, Creep, debuted at number 71 on the Hot 100 in November of 1994, and just under 3 weeks later, the single jumped all the way to the top 10, sitting at number 8 by December 3rd. Creep
quickly became one of the best-selling singles of 1994, selling over 600,000 copies before the end of the year. Following this in January, Creep peaked at number 1, becoming TLC's first number 1 hit, and it held the position for 4 consecutive weeks before it was ironically overtaken by Madonna's single, Take a Bow.
Their second single, Red Light Special, peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100, selling over 700,000 copies. The third single, Waterfalls, which could be considered one of TLC's most notable songs, was an international hit, breaking the top 5 in several countries and spending 7 weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100, scoring their ladies their second number 1 single. Waterfalls was placed at number 2 on the Billboard 1995 End of the Year chart, and won 2 Grammys at the 30th Annual Grammy Awards in 1996 for Record of the Year and the Best Pop Performance by Duo or Group with Vocal. Waterfalls.
A couple of people who probably thought we forgot about
Year, Best Group Video,
Hiram
as well
hits.
as 2 Soul Train Music Awards for Best Video of the Year and Best R&B/Soul Single by a Group, Band, or Duo, and an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Music Video. Their final single, Diggin' on You, peaked at number 5 on the Hot 100, remaining there for 20 weeks. CrazySexyCool would go from being 2 times platinum to 5 times platinum by the end of the summer in July, to 7 times platinum in November, to diamond by the next summer in June. The album currently sits at 12 million copies sold in the US and over 15 million copies sold worldwide. The Black Album by Prince. Referred to as the Black Album is the 16th album by Prince, released in November of 1994. The album was actually a re-release and remaster of his album, The Funk Bible of 1987, which was to be his follow-up after Sign O, The Times. Shortly before its release, Prince was said to experience a spiritual epiphany and became convinced that the album was evil. He had all the copies recalled and abandoned the project completely.
This left about 100 copies circulating in Europe and a free range for bootlegs in the States. In the lead single's music video from his preceding album Love Sexy, titled Alphabet Street, a message quickly scrolled down the screen that reads, "Don't buy the Black Album, I'm sorry." The Black Album was officially released by Warner Brothers, but in a strictly limited edition that was later pulled the following year, and the album was released exclusively to Tidal in 2016.
This was her breakthrough album and still remains a classic favorite by many. My Life debuted at number 9 on the Billboard 200, later peaking at number 7 with the leading single Be Happy peaking at number 29 on the Hot 100 and number 6 on the Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs chart. But it was her second single, I'm Going Down, which was a cover originally sang by Rose Royce in 1976, that outshined others on the album, peaking at number 22 on the Hot 100. The album was named one of the greatest albums of all time by Rolling Stone, Entertainment Weekly, Time Magazine, and Vibe Magazine, just to name a few. My Life has went on to sell over 3 million copies in the United States. The Sweetest Days by Vanessa Williams. Sweetest Days is the third studio album by Vanessa Williams, released on December 6 of 1994. The album experienced slow sales and spawned 6 singles. The lead single, titled The Sweetest Days, met success, peaking at number 18 on the Hot 100, while the follow-up, The Way You Love, peaked at number 67. The third single, Colors of the Wind, was featured on the album Pocahontas, an original Disney Walt Disney Records soundtrack, peaking at number 4 on the Hot 100 and selling over 700,000 copies. The single also received a Grammy nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance at the 1996 Grammy Awards. The Sweetest Days would go on to sell over 1 million copies in the United States.